me, Angel, bringing you behind the mic yet again. Today, I'm joined by a special guest. Iric Headley is here with me. He is the executive director of Fort Wayne United, which is an amazing initiative created by Mayor Tom Henry. And also, he's kind of like the mayor's right-hand man. You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
Iric, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
I'm so excited to talk more about Fort Wayne United. The mayor was here. We talked about, the initiative and what sparked it.
Right.
So tell me more about the substance of the program. What exactly is Fort Wayne United?
Well, first we got to talk about why Fort Wayne United exists, and simply homicide is the leading cause of death for African American males ages 10 to 24 or so,
right.
Nationwide. So we see the same issues around the country where we as black men are being shot and killed in the streets for stupid reasons.
Exactly.
And thank God for our mayor, who really wanted to address that issue. So that's the main reason why the initiative really exists. And instead of just going at it from a very traditional programmatic perspective, we really want to create something that's substantial and sustainable over the years. So we have to address education because data shows that that's an area that black men and boys are underrepresented as far as success.
Yes.
We have to deal with employment. We've got to deal with programs. We have to deal with all these different areas that really are going to create a collective impact to address the issues that we keep seeing.
And it comes at a perfect time because with some of the societal things that have been going on, some of the social injustices that have made major media platforms, here recently with Philando Castillo's situation where the officer was not convicted, we have to understand that, our youth are angry. They're upset.
Absolutely.
And there is a divide when it comes to the authority of the police and some of our minorities. So that's why I'm excited to hear more about how you plan to bridge that gap for the youth with the police department here in Fort Wayne.
So it's not something that we plan on doing. It's something that we have been doing.
Yes, absolutely.
So nationwide, like you said, we really see the same issue with
Over
the
and
crisis.
over.
The crisis between black men, communities of color, if you want to get a little bit more broad, and law enforcement. There's a real crisis there. And we're losing that battle, to be quite honest with you.
Significantly.
So when the mayor brought me on, I didn't want to wait for 3-4 more years before I could get to work. So he allowed me to put some programs in place on the ground, on the streets that really addressed that issue. And they were kind of risky, but it's something that we had to do. So one of our main focuses were really to ask the question, how can we bridge the gap? How can we foster healthy relationships between black men and law enforcement, but how do we teach both sides? Because our black men need to be able to voice their opinions and their concerns, and our police department also needs to do the same thing. But how do we educate both sides? So we created something called a live session.
Okay.
And the live is an acronym for listening to input and voices through engagement. And I was driving in my car a few years back, and a friend of mine said, "Hey man, the police chief of Indianapolis is meeting with a bunch of gangbangers today."
Interesting.
And I said, "Wow." And what's the premise of that conversation? And the person told me that it was kind of like a stop it, or let's kind of do a little peace treaty type thing.
Okay.
And I said, "Man, I wonder if we can create that at Fort Wayne, but in a non-threatening environment."
Of course.
So that's how the whole live session idea came about. So we put young black men, about 20 of them, so a small group in the room with our police chief.
Yes.
It used to be Gary Hamilton, now Steve Reed. And then we have an amazing deputy chief over the Southeast Quadrant. His name's Derek Westfield.
Oh, yeah, Officer Westfield.
Officer Westfield, who's an African-American man. And he sits in a room with these guys for 4 hours. And we just talk and we educate. So we like to go over the E's. We educate them, we encourage them, we empower them to let them know that, hey, if you guys have issues, come talk to us, come talk to Deputy Chief Westfield. We educate them with a lot of data, statistics on homicide, how it affects them.
Right.
We also get their input, so they vote. They vote anonymously, and these statistics and these numbers pop up on the screen, and then it creates discussion.
Okay.
So we do that. We do forums on law enforcement where we have people like Joe Jordan. Our police chief's a part of that. And we're really just zoning in on this law enforcement and black male crisis. We're really trying to address that effectively.
And speaking of Joe Jordan with the Boys and Girls Club, he is one of the change agents that you have, really reached out to in the community to kind of develop this committee of, really significant and impactful people here in the city.
Absolutely.
Tell me about some of the other partnerships and other just significant people in the city that are on board with really pushing this initiative.
I would love to. So one of the first things that I learned was I could not do this work by myself.
Of course.
I cannot. And I also learned that I need the system leaders in place. So instead of me going to them 6 months down the road or asking somebody to ask them to ask them to ask them,
Right.
I really just wanted them in the room. So
Of course.
Joe Jordan is probably one of the most amazing youth advocates
In the
not
city.
only in the city but in the country.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
He's doing
running
significant
oh my
things with
gosh,
the
he
Boys
just
and
got
Girls Club.
recognized for one of the best Boys and Girls Club in the nation.
Oh, wow.
And they're having a national Boys and Girls Club convention here because of our Boys and
Oh,
Girls Club here
wow.
in Fort Wayne.
That's amazing.
So yeah, Joe Jordan is our co-chair of Fort Wayne United.
Okay, so when it comes to these subcommittees, the health, the education, the community awareness, the community advocacy,
Right.
you guys also have a mentorship portion of the program.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
So the mentorship program, the mentorship is really built into a lot of our other programs. So, for instance, at our live session, we want people to attend the live session and be able to be connected to responsible, caring adults. A lot of
Right.
data shows that people who typically go astray really weren't connected to responsible,
Oh,
caring
absolutely.
adults.
Yes.
Our late night basketball program, we want to have mentorship there in-house.
Of course.
So when these young black men are playing ball from 8 to midnight or so, that there are other people that are really connecting with them and really creating relationships that are going to be kind of a walk through life together, not just mentorship. So our mentorship component is really built into our programs.
Okay.
To where it's not something specific on its own, but really something built into where these guys are showing up and they can connect with people, connect with employment, connect with education, right there in all of our programs. Thank you.
Where can people get connected? How can people learn more about Fort Wayne United?
They can go to fortwayneunited.org.
Okay.
They can call 311, ask for me. The best route is to go to the website.
Okay.
fortwayneunited.org. You can call Boys and Girls Club. Joe Jordan
Yes.
is the CEO and president. And it's our greatest partner.
Absolutely.
So they can give information. We've got a great initiative called the Bucket Brigade that Fort Wayne United and Boys and Girls Club partnered up on. So it's just a great partnership, and they can call there, get information, call the city, or visit the website.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, you heard it here. Fort Wayne United, it is the move of the Fort Wayne youth, and we want you to definitely get connected. So go to fortwayneunited.org for more information, or simply call 311 and ask for more details. But thank you so much, Iric.
you.
It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Stay tuned. More Behind the Mic coming up.